Hello and welcome. I would like to talk to you today about Georgia's testing process. I specifically want to talk about and focus on some pros and cons of testing in Georgia based on teacher perspectives. Just a quick glimpse of what testing has looked like in Georgia. Um, it started as summative assessments that consisted of a series of assessments like the Georgia High School Graduation Test, CRCT, the EOCT, writing assessments for 3rd, 5th, 8th, and high school, etc. Lately, we've moved into the Georgia Milestones, and this effort was made to build toward a comprehensive summative assessment so that we could focus on similarities between grade levels. According to the Georgia DOE, the Georgia Department of Education, the purpose of testing is to measure student achievement to help improve teaching and learning. I think teachers would agree with that purpose. Results of assessment are utilized to identify students failing to achieve mastery of content, provide teachers with feedback and instructional practice, and to assist school districts in identifying strengths and weaknesses in order to establish priorities in planning educational programs. The assessment program includes criterion reference tests at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. So, some pros that we teachers feel are important to share are that standardized tests can help identify problem areas. This could be problem areas with individual students or the curriculum being implemented at the school. We do feel like the test gives teachers guidance, which is very helpful, and the guidance also helps provide guidelines for teachers to structure what students need to learn. We feel like this is very informative and helps us be more purposeful with our instruction. A few cons that we feel like are important to share are teachers really feel like they're teaching to the test most of the time and not really taking into consideration maybe what the student actually needs. It's just teaching to that test. We feel like we're almost forced to teach to the test, and there's a lot of pressure there for students to achieve a specific score that most teachers do end up teaching to the test whether they want to or not, rather than giving students a deeper understanding of the subject or standard. And we also feel like this creates a classroom atmosphere that lacks creativity and can limit students' learning potential due to just the repetition of teaching to the test. Teachers also feel like the test places a lot of stress on students and teachers, especially whenever the test is given a certain time of the year and you have a lot to teach before the test. So teachers do feel a lot of stress from testing. We want everything to get taught before it's time to test and before we get those scores in. And then we also feel like that stress is passed on to our students. They feel the pressure when it comes to performing well. Test scores can affect student confidence, and it can even lead to students developing a negative attitude about their abilities and even dislike school. And that's the last thing teachers want. The last con that we feel like as teachers would be important to share is that it evaluates students' performance without considering external factors. So there's a lot of social emotional factors that aren't correlated to the standardized test scores. Teachers know their students best, while others don't. And the others outside of the classroom don't consider factors like test anxiety, home life, or even the fact that some kids are extremely bright, but maybe they just don't test well. So there's a lot of external factors that play into testing that we feel like aren't considered when it comes to testing students. So in conclusion, there's a lot of pros and cons with testing. We just want all pros and cons to be taken into consideration and make sure that standardized testing is balanced and that we're taking into account the both good and the bad of testing, so that way we can really focus on what students need and help them succeed without causing too much stress. Thank you so much for your time today.